Swing! Hello and welcome to another episode of Good Clean Gaming. I'm your host Shalindo, and today we're playing more Galactic Civilizations 3 Beta Phase number 4. Please keep in mind this is a beta. There will be changes, glitches, problems, all kinds of stuff, and the developer is working on it. So by the time this reaches release, hopefully all those will be dealt with and done. There is a sale going on right now. If you're watching this on February 28th, March 1st, March 2nd, that weekend, there's a 50% off sale at Steam. Feel free to check that out. If you buy the game for 50% off, you'll get it in early access like I have here now. And you will also be able to have the full version in release. So yeah, if you're planning on buying this anyway, now would be a great time to do so. So we've gone through Victory, Govern, and Technology screens. We're now moving on to Ideology. And we're going to go through everything, since if you look at these, there's not that many bubbles, and there's not going to be that many tooltips. So we'll just go ahead and go through everything. But what is Ideology? So if you've watched my Let's Play, based on the choices you make in events that come up, you will get either Benevolent points, Pragmatic points, or Malevolent points. And when you get those points, you can use them towards any of these. And you don't have to go pure Malevolent, or pure Pragmatic, or pure Benevolent. You can go for, you can spread your points evenly if you want to. And, you know, you can role play your decisions and end up with a spread of points based on your personality. And you can assign those to any one of these branches. Now, you do have to invest in the earlier bubble to get to the later bubble. So you can't research 4 immediately. You have to research 1, 2, and 3 before you can research 4, as an example. And yeah, so other than that, yeah, you can pretty much do whatever you want. It gives you pretty good amount of flexibility. So what this does is it allows you to basically customize or give yourself some bonuses, customize your race, things like that. And they can be quite powerful, especially if you have a strategy of how you want to use them. So we're going to start with Malevolent, because that's what I did in my playthrough. When I'm actually doing the release play, I'll probably be doing Benevolent or Pragmatic. So Malevolent starts with Aggression. Aggression comes naturally to malevolent civilizations. Taking is almost always easier than building, and a lot more fun. So the first stage gives you a free frigate. The second stage gives you every planet we conquer provides our people a permanent boost in approval. So the more you take over other people's planets, the more your people like you. The third boost is grants 5 free fully loaded transports. That can help for people trying to, you know, when you're trying to invade a planet. The next one is Dangerous, which allows the building of advanced transport modules that come with their own escort fighters. So that would be really useful if you're building transports and you don't want to have to also build the fleet to escort those transports. You can build this, and apparently, you know, comes with their own escort fighters. Bloodthirsty gives all planets receives a fully armed Overlord class ship. So if you have 10 ships, for instance, you might have you would instantly get 10 fully armed Overlord class ships, which is pretty powerful. That's why it's all the way on the end of the aggression line. The next one's Motivation. Motivation of its workforce is an art that malevolent civilizations master early. High production can be tough, but worth it. So the first bonus you can get on this tree is Relentless, which gives we have free production to our homeworld plus 10 production. And I believe that's 10 production total, but it's using the social production symbol. But I believe that counts for both social and military. This one unlocks the Intimidation Center improvement and generates 5 Malevolent ideology points for each center built. So it takes 15 points to research any of the bubbles in the ideology thing. So if you build 3 intimidation centers, you would get 15 points. You'd be able to research another bubble. So you have to weigh that and see, is that worth it versus, you know, building research centers or, you know, factories and things like that. Another thing to consider that I'm not sure, if you remove this building, do you lose points? How does that work? I would like to know. I haven't tested that out, but I would certainly like to know how that will work. Ruthless, our homeworld. Oh, excuse me. Ruthless doubles the military production of our homeworld. Military manufacturing plus 100%. So that's very powerful. That allows you to build ships twice as fast. The fourth one here says allows the building of death furnaces. That sounds horrible. These generate 2 ideology points per turn. So that's these intimidation centers only give you a flat 5 ideology points per center built, whereas on stage 4, if you build these death furnaces, they give you 2 per turn. So if you're playing a long game, that could be really powerful. You build like 5 of those, you're suddenly able to research a lot of ideology stuff really fast. I'm not sure how many you can build though. You might only be able to build 1 per planet. Unforgiving is the last one. All colonies receive a 25% production bonus. Unlocks the Culling Planetary Project. Not sure what the Culling Planetary Project is, but plus 25% production sounds awesome. The next malevolent tree here is Greed. Malevolent civilizations know that wealth can be very helpful in getting their way, and they make sure that credits aren't wasted on... Try that again. Credits aren't wasted on anything else. Uncharitable is the first one here. Provides a 10% increase to planetary income. That's gross income plus 10%. Utilitarian. Yep, that's the way you pronounce that. Utilitarian. Improves the class of our first 5 worlds by 1. So I think each class gives you an extra plot of land and more population. I haven't figured out the math on the whole class thing yet. But plus 1, that's like giving 1 world plus 5 class, which goes from like a 6 to 11. Yeah, that's pretty good. Number 3 is Slave Masters. All trade routes now bring back slaves in addition to credits. That sounds awful. I wonder what benefit the slaves give on the planet. Tight-fisted is the next one. Allows for the building of the Citadel of Revenue achievement. Achievement is spelled incorrectly. Stardock, add 2 extra E's to that word, please. Currently that is achievement. It sounds like something you put on a potato, a baked potato. Oh, can I have some achievements with that, please? Thank you. You can also build the, that says at the bottom, Citadel of Revenue is unlocked. Relentless. Each planet receives additional usable land. How much additional usable land? It doesn't say. I guess we'll have to research that one to find out one day. So the next thing we have is Awe. Malevolent civilizations expect and demand respect. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Respect. Making sure that other races know their strength can reap great rewards in negotiations. So the first level of this is Scary. No penalties for sharing borders with another civilization. So you see that you have that shared borders diplomatic penalty. That happens when if you're border to border. That's probably not going to be somebody you ally with. It's probably somebody you're going to be trying to take their land because they're encroaching on, quote, your territory. Double air quotes. So this eliminates that diplomatic penalty because basically the other races will be in awe of you and will not worry about sharing borders with you, which is probably a bad idea. Considering people going this path are most likely going to invade anyway. Unnerving is next. Enemy ships in our zone of control suffer a 25% penalty to their hit points. So if you want to be kind of like a turtle, if you want to turtle up and prevent people from being able to invade you and just grow your influence and everything, then this could be pretty strong because when enemy ships are trying to come in to kind of, take over some of your planets, they're not going to be able to because they're going to be at a pretty significant disadvantage on hit points. So it's a great defensive bonus there. Undaunted. Our planets and star bases are immune to culture flipping. So if you're playing the influence game, you're trying to spread your influence, and you can flip star bases and flip planets to your civilization if you overwhelm them with your influence, or with your culture. And so this makes your planets and your star bases immune to culture flipping. So that can give you an advantage, especially if you're not focusing on influence. Feared. Minor races in our zone of control will trade more favorably with us. So there are going to be minor races in the game, and you can take them over or destroy them, wipe them out, or you can apparently trade and cooperate with them. So yeah, you get a trade bonus if you have the feared mechanic here. Exalted is the last one. A foreign colony near your borders defects to your civilization. So just by researching that, it's like, boom, all of a sudden a foreign colony on your border flips. On a small map, that would be really powerful. On a huge map with a lot of stars, not so powerful. So I'm guessing that may get balanced at some point because it seems to be very galaxy size dependent, I guess. So the next thing we're going to go over is Pragmatic. Pragmatic's kind of like the balance between Benevolent and Malevolent. Benevolent's like, we're all good, and Malevolent's like, well, we're all bad. And Pragmatic's like, you got my peanut butter stuck in your chocolate, or whatever that commercial is. No, Pragmatic's more like whatever's best for us is what we care about. Whether it's good or evil, we don't care. We're going for the best for us. So Vigilant. Pragmatic civilizations know that it is better to be safe than sorry and prepare to face the harsh realities of galactic exploration. Prepared allows the building of a preparedness center and creates 5 pragmatic ideology points per center built. So this is kind of like the equivalent of the intimidation centers on the Malevolent line. Allows you to kind of get 5 per center built. This one is favored. Anyone at war with us receives a 25% penalty to approval. So if you're playing against the Dringen, for instance, who already have an issue with approval, and they declare war on you, and you have favored, then they're going to have a lot of trouble keeping their own planets from rebelling, which can really weaken their war effort. So probably pretty strong against, especially the Dringen, I would guess. But strong against anyone, really. Enemy ships in our zone of control receive 25% penalty to their sensor and ship somethings. I can't read the bottom. Range. Sensor and ship range. So, yeah. It looks like it's on there twice. I wonder if that's a mistake. It says ship range negative 25%, ship range negative 25%. Stardock, this is a bug. The second one should be sensor range negative 25%. So I'm sure that'll be balanced and corrected in a future patch. Cautious is the next thing. All planets receive 3 free defending ships. So, yeah, if you want some cheap defense, I guess that works. Imagine having like 50 planets and getting 150 ships by just researching one little thing. Or not researching, doing a trait. These are ideological traits. Traitifying one additional thing. I invented a verb for us. Thank you. Watchful is the last one on this line. All our ships receive a free escort fighter when in our zone of control. So, yeah, you get, if you have 100 ships, you get 100 escort fighters, apparently. Cool. The next thing on the list is Builder. Building out a strong infrastructure can be the cornerstone of a pragmatic civilization's defensive and economic strategy. The first thing on here is Constructive. Grants 3 free constructor vessels. So these are for building star bases. So if you put out 3 constructor vessels, you can either build 3 little star bases, or you can build 1 star base and then add 2 modules on it. So that's how much this is worth. And it is the first one, and that is a pretty cheap. Constructor vessels are pretty cheap, so that makes sense to have this on the first leaf of the branch of the tree of the pragmatic. All these terms. Coordinated. Our shipyards operate at 100% at twice the distance from your colonies. So that's that shipyard decay I talked about in previous episodes. The further your shipyard is away, at some point you start getting shipyard decay, which means that the planets sponsoring that shipyard, their support for the shipyard is going to mean less, and so they're not going to be able to fully fund a shipyard properly. Some of that promotion or sponsorship will decay, and so it won't be as efficient. Well, this means that you can have them twice as far away. Being coordinated means that you could have fewer shipyards building more ships faster, basically. Next one on here is Resourceful. All mined resource yields increased by 2, mining plus 2. So, yeah, if you're mining something, whatever you're getting out of it, add 2 to that. That's what you get for Resourceful. Efficient is next. All construction modules now give 2 points instead of 1. So if you are trying to build a lot of star bases, this is really powerful, because instead of each constructor being worth 1 module, now each constructor can build 2 modules, assuming they're all worth 1. Cool. Inventive is the last one. All exempting. Exempting? That's a new word. I got to get the dictionary and write that in. That sounds cool. We got to find. Tell me in the comments what the definition of exempting should be. That sounds awesome. Inventive is all existing starbases get one free construction module. So yeah, if you're going crazy starbase building across the galaxy, that could be really powerful. The next thing is traders. Ooh, love this one. Hello, traders. You're my friend. Pragmatic races know an aggressive trade policy with other races can not only be profitable, but can also build strong diplomatic ties. Exporters is the first one. It gives an extra trade route and grants a free freighter. Sweet. The next one gives plus 25% trade income. The third one, the second one was merchants. The third one is luxury. Allows civilization to establish luxury trade routes. Hello, luxury trade routes? Luxury trade routes are not only more profitable, they increase the influence and approval of the planets they connect. That sounds awesome. I love that. I like that, trade routes have been in strategy games for a long time. I like it when games try to reinvent what they mean and what they do instead of just being, oh, well, you take goods from here to here and you get 5 gold and 10 research points, and stuff like that. Trying to have them have more impact on gameplay. I am in full support of that. Indispensable is next. Improves relations with civilizations we have trade routes with. That's always good. Have people like you and not go to war with you because you're trading with them. That's why I like to play trade so much, because it dissuades people from invading you. Shrewd is last. Diplomatic trades for credits pay an additional 25%. So diplomatic trade value plus 25%. So basically when you're doing trades with another race, your trade is going to be basically 25% more interesting to them. Let's just call it that. It'll be easier to get better trades for you, which is cool. Negotiator. Negotiation is a powerful weapon in a pragmatic civilization's arsenal. With it, they can avoid wars and garner support from other races when needed. So the first thing is neutral. No one will declare war on us for the next 100 turns. Wowza, that sounds interesting. So if you time that right, if you get to a point where you think you're about to be invaded and you activate that, you got 100 turns of not being able to be invaded. Pretty cool. Amiable. Improves relations with all other races. Cool, +1. That's pretty flat, but that's cool. Popular. Races that declare war on us anger all other races in the galaxy. That's kind of funny. So it's like, Dringan, already people don't like Yor or the Dringan, and now they invade you, and all of a sudden they like all the other races in the galaxy are mad at them for it and might actually declare war on them. That's pretty funny. Arbiters. Allows the building of an arbitration center on one of your worlds. I don't know what arbitration center does. Our reputation as a fair and balanced race has attracted attention from others who wish us to help resolve their own disputes, increasing our reputation as a pragmatic race. It must do something, having to do with either other races or getting you more pragmatic points. Most likely it has to do with other races. I just don't know what it's about. Venerable is last. All civilizations declare war on any race that invades our homeworld unless they are allies. So if anyone, this one's kind of weird because it kind of has the idea that someone has to invade your homeworld in order for it to activate. Means that you're probably not winning the game. But it is a nice little haha in your face kind of moment when the entire galaxy declares war on the person who is trying to take you down. Might be interesting. Maybe you leave your homeworld a little undefended for a minute and then take it back shortly thereafter and have the threat that was going to topple your entire empire suddenly be toppled by everyone else. That might be effective. It's so meta. It's so meta. I don't know what meta means. I've never figured out what meta means. I look it up on like the Google on the interwebs and it doesn't know either. What is meta? Someone please explain that to me. Outreach. Okay, now we're on Benevolent, which is the nice guy, good guy one. So outreach is benevolent civilizations believe they can peacefully explore and colonize the galaxy. Outreach gives them the tools that they need to do it. Pioneering is first. It gives you a free, fully loaded colony ship. So basically, quick free planet if you go for that. That could be good for like an early game rush. Awesome. Next one is Explorers. A previously unnoticed Class 10 planet is revealed near your home system. So basically what this really does is it finds something that you have, it finds a star that you've been close to already and adds a Class 10 planet to it near your home base. Which if you're fast enough to colonize it, that could be really valuable, especially early game. Prolific is next. All new colonies start with 5 extra population. So that'd be really good if, again, if you're colonizing a lot of planets and you're trying to get them off the ground fast. That helps a ton. Adept is next. Each existing colony receives 1 additional tile. So again, think of having 50 planets. You just got 50 new tiles to build buildings on. That can be quite strong. Beacon is last. Grants a Class 16 planet. So you get a Class 16 planet, which is about as good as you can get. Those are really good. On the next line we have Affinity, and it says, though a profound affinity with their people and races and the races they Stardock typo, through, add an R right here. Thank you. Through a profound affinity with their people and the races they encounter, benevolent civilizations can avoid almost all internal strife. First thing is dignified. Homeworld approval increased by 50%. So that helps you be liked by your own people, which can be a good thing. Allows construction of the elevation foundation achievement. What is that? Oh, hey, they spelled, look at that, they spelled achievement right. Yes! Awesome. The elevation foundation, just copy and paste from here to that other tooltip. Cool. The elevation foundation encourages visitors to your civilization to assimilate more fully to your species' culture, boosting a colony's approval by 100% and generating 1 ideology point per turn. So this is like those 2 ideology point per turn bonuses, but those you get on level 4, which is much later. This can actually pay off really well because it's so early, and you're getting also an extra approval. So this can be quite strong for getting more ideology points. Next thing on here is Appreciative. Your first 5 worlds receive an approval bonus. So cool. Cool. So it kind of stacks with the dignified one earlier on. Noble is next. All colonies receive a 50% approval bonus. Add an E to the receive and that'll be good. Next is Mindful. Planets with high approval receive additional production. That word receive there also looks misspelled. I'm sure you guys will get that, no problem. Yeah. I before E except after C is not a real rule, but it works in this case. Prominence is next. Persuasion is one of the primary ways a benevolent civilization resolves a conflict with others and expands their influence throughout the galaxy. So the first thing on here is Admirable. Doubles the influence of your first 3 worlds. 100% influence on the first 3 worlds. That's really good, especially if you're playing a small map where you're only going to have like 2 or 3 planets. That could be quite strong. Eminence is next. Allows the building of a missionary center and creates 5 benevolent ideology points per center built. So similar to the Intimidation Center that we saw earlier in the Malevolent path, and the other thing we saw in Pragmatic that I've forgotten about completely. Enticing is the next thing. All planets and star bases within our influence join our civilization. Hello. That's really strong. If you're going influence, like heavy influence, you're going to push those bounds back. And this basically means that immediately, as soon as your influence goes past the planet in that star base, they flip. That is unbelievably strong. Wow. I am floored by that. That is awesome. Because those planets, once they flip, they are going to start generating their own influence, and they're going to push those lines back even further, possibly flipping more planets. That is, I can't even. I can't equal sign. I can't even. Yeah. Alluring. All star bases generate influence regardless of their type. So this is really good if you're building a lot of star bases and you're playing the influence game. This looks like the total influence line right here. Awesome. Radiant is last. All worlds have their influence increased by 50%. Yeah, totally. This is the influence line. So if you're going the influence game where you're trying to flip planets based on pushing your influence borders back as far as possible, just look at this prominence line and just go straight down it, and wow, that's really powerful. Wow, I'm kind of surprised that it would be that strong. The Enlightenment is next. The enlightenment of its citizens is an important goal of a benevolent civilization. It helps them keep ahead of the less tolerant races in the galaxy. The first thing is Educated, grants 125 free typo in my voice, in my brain, in my words, English. Grants 125 free research points. I'm not sure how much research each technology costs, but we could probably see how valuable it is by looking at the research screen again. Skilled is the next thing. All star bases give an extra 10% research bonus to colonies in their area of effect. Cool. Good researching. This is a good research line for sure. This one grants 250 free research points. Kind of like the first one, except, well, twice, double as much. Enriched is next. Allows the construction of the Temple of Enlightenment achievement. Cool. And then what does the Temple of Enlightenment do? Allows us to build a Temple of Enlightenment, which gives a 200% bonus to a colony's research and generates 2 ideology points. Ideology spelled wrong there. Is an E instead of an I. Otherwise good. Per turn. Cool. And the last one is Quantum Leap. Oh, that was a good show. Oh, I missed that show. Flashback. Okay, we're back. Quantum Leap grants 500 free research points, and all colonies gain 5 research per turn. Yeah, this whole line is basically you're getting a bunch of free research. So if you're going for a research victory, you want the Enlightenment line. So Prominence is for your influence victory. Enlightenment is for your research victory. Yeah, those are pretty cut and dry what those are for. Negotiator is probably going to be for potentially your, well, this could be useful for a diplomatic victory, but probably, what, Affinity? No. Yeah, I guess it would be Pragmatic. Negotiator would be for your diplomatic victory. And of course, Malevolent for the conquering victory. Yeah, so this is really cool. We went through all the ideological traits. Video ran a little long, but I hope it was worth watching. These things are all subject to change at any time because this is still a beta, but hopefully I'm guessing a lot of these will stay similar to at least what they're planned to be. Maybe their effects will change, but this gives you an idea of what to expect from each of these lines. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to click that little subscribe button on your screen somewhere. If you're interested in seeing more videos, that's what you want to do. If you're not interested in subscribing, that's fine too. Just hope to see you in the next episode. And be sure to check out that Steam sale if it's still going on. 50% off Galactic Civilizations 3 this weekend, the weekend that this video was posted. And yeah, thanks for watching, and remember, keep it clean.